right, guys, welcome. Episode number 10 of the Coyote Football Stats Show. We're going to cover an absolutely, wet game. I mean, it was the rain game against Liberty High School from Frisco. It was an absolute blowout, 56-7. We get to talk about it all because of the kindness, the generosity, the support of City Park Group and that company for all they do for us and all that they're doing and getting ready to do here in Anna. So I am Phil Morgan.
I'm Blake Grundy. And are you sure you had the score right?
56-7.
I thought it was 30-23. Oh, wait, sorry. That was wrong game I'm talking about. Coach Rigg will be happy. That was Missouri over Oklahoma. Yeah,
Nice.
This one was 56-7.
Nice.
It was a statement evening for our Coyotes, right? We're making the march toward playoffs. But I think before I ramble on for too long, we got somebody in between us that is a man. He's a little bit of a myth.
Well,
he's definitely a legend.
The legend.
He's the one, the only Pete Cain.
Cain.
There you go.
There it is.
Hey, Pete, what is it? The Coyotes have achieved 11 yards and a new set of downs, or what is that saying?
yeah, they have a first down now.
Yeah?
He's not going to do it.
Yeah?
He's not going to do it for us.
You have to pay to hear that now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. We've heard about that a couple times. Have you heard about it?
Oh, yeah.
Well, hey, for those of you who don't know, this is Pete Cain. He's the voice of Coyote football.
And the mayor of our fair town.
And the mayor. He wears a lot of hats.
Indeed.
He's pretty important to us here at our church as well, at Pin Oaks Christian Fellowship. So,
Yep.
Listen, we're thankful for Pete. Thank you for being here, brother.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. I love the shows. It's a treat to be on here with you two.
Oh, well.
And a little bit terrifying. I gotta be honest.
It's early on.
Right.
You may want to hold the treat talk.
Well, listen, I think we're gonna start off a little bit different. We got the voice of Coyote football. You've been doing this for what feels like an eternity, right?
It's a long time. I haven't missed a game since 2005, and I think I got on the mic for the first time in 8 or 9, something like that. So
Okay, so haven't missed a game since 2005. That would be 19 years. For those that are counting, once again, we do the math on the Coyote Football Stat Show for you, so you don't have to do it at home.
Which is longer than I've been serving at this church in Anna. Just so you know.
Should I say it? It's longer than I've been out of high school.
okay. I don't know that you needed to say that. It wasn't necessary to go there.
just
barely.
Longer,
that one was necessary. That was good.
So you jumped on the mic. You said 08, 09. So you've been around Anna. You coached in youth football leagues for a while, right? Coached your boys.
Yep.
Okay.
And that started in I think that was 2001 when we started doing that, or maybe by 2000 even. But yeah, I coached them for 4 or 5 years until they got into middle school.
Okay.
And then from there I went on and I served in the as the president of the booster club for the athletics department, and I try to stay busy.
So in 23 years,
bit.
in 23 years of youth sports, starting back in 2001, how have you seen the youth sports and just sports in general change in Anna?
Well, I'll tell you, it was always fun. Of course, youth sports is a good time. That's what you're there for, right?
Yeah.
Learning is great and getting a skill is great, but you're there to have some fun. I think over the course of the past decade here in town, it's really changed a lot. And I'll call names on this. Clark Miller has completely changed the way we do football in this town, as far as that goes. And it's better.
By the way, that's the same Clark Miller that Florida State fans are trying to recruit alongside with Peyton.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that tweet from the summer. Peyton's over at camping at FSU, and they got someone put out a picture of Peyton and Clark, and someone immediately comments on the picture and goes, "Yo, does Pops have any eligibility left? Let's get him too."
Right. That's funny.
But yeah, Clark Miller's done an awesome job. So continue your story.
Yeah, and we're doing things now in Anna that I would see other cities that were really successful doing. These kids are coming up from elementary level all the way up, and they're seeing continuity, and they're seeing the same people, and they're seeing people that are willing to invest a tremendous amount of time into them, and it pays off down the road, and it's paying off for these kids.
Yeah.
How many kids now do we have going away to play football at the next level? That never happened before.
Well, and I think it starts with just a couple weekends ago, we had 3 teams all vying for their Super Bowl championship. Yeah. And I don't know that since I've been here, which is 16 years, I don't know that I've ever heard of that happening before. right? So the culture has changed a little bit. It's pretty amazing to see, and just think about how that is reaping benefits for our high school football program.
Absolutely, yeah, and for the community, it's fun. It's good. Winning is fun.
Winning is fun.
I'm finding out.
It turns out it is more fun to win than lose. Cowboys fans, you still have a home here with the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, here he goes.
Hey, listen, let's.
So no, listen. On the Vikings front, can we?
You're gonna talk about the celly?
The celebration, dude, on the interception. Was it a pick six? I can't remember.
No, it was
just an
he
interception.
just picked it off in the
He
end zone.
ran it into the okay. So
not ran it. He just Jacksonville was trying to go down and score, and the Vikings offense struggled all day, and Cam comes up with a big pick in the end zone.
Big pick, and then the celebration was an absolute mockery of Ray Gun from the Olympics, the breakdancer that was famously bad.
Yeah.
Maybe that's an understatement. I don't know, but it was.
That was very
epic.
kind the way you worded that. And famously bad. Famously bad is a kind way to word that.
But what was even better for me, like I love watching guys just have fun. They forget for a minute that they're in a game. And they just, you could just see it on like they were giggling, like grown, like big men,
right.
Big men that I would never use the word giggle in front of, like that kind of big, you know what I mean? Like, and they were just having such a blast. It just reminds you of how much fun this game is, right? And that's why youth sports is, I think, so important, is because it's fun, right? It's supposed to be fun. That's one of. Coach Parr is like, I want the fans to have fun. Like, absolutely, our stadium is a fun zone.
That's right.
We are not a no fun zone.
Yeah, it is. So let's drill down a little bit more. I want to hear about the differences you've seen as you've been around the program really closely since 05. You mentioned and really announcing since 08, 09, so about 15 years we'll call it. The difference you've seen in the program since Coach Parr and his staff and regime have gotten here. How has some of that changed?
Well, it's the mindset that's changed. It's the way that these guys go about their business that's changed. It's no longer, I'm a football player and it's after school and on Friday nights. That's not. You're doing it all the time and you're representing the team. And he takes it as far as you're representing the school and you're representing the community. And you see it in those young men, the way they carry themselves, the way they behave. You can tell that there's a difference at the core level, and it translates into everything else. I think it's translated into basketball, track, baseball, you name it. That mindset. Once you start winning and seeing how it works, you just get hooked on that, and you want to be that person all the time. So that's what I've seen. It's a huge change. Like this is he tied this year with his worst record of 7-3. For 15 years, you told me we were going to go 7-3. I'm having a party. It's all good.
Yeah, for sure.
So, when your worst record is 3 losses in a year, that's not too shabby. And there are 3 incredible teams that you barely lost to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
combined 11 points. Just we're doing the math again.
Again with the
so
math.
You don't have to do it for we take care of it. That's incredible to think about the 7-3 by, like you said, Phil, by a combined 11 points. That's crazy to think how close we were to another undefeated regular season. But it also goes to show like how close and tough that this district that we call the District of Doom was.
Right, yeah.
It really really and truly this season was a grind, right? More than any season I remember since Coach Parr being here, this season was a grind against these teams, even against Emerson or Walnut Grove, where we got the win and it ended up being by 10, 14 points, where kind of the ending margin had some cushion to it. Those games were a grind, man.
Yeah, it felt like they didn't break open till late, and there was a back and forth battle coming from behind. And the game that we lost so close to Lovejoy, still, we go into that second quarter and we're down by 4 scores,
49-20 at one point.
Yeah, we're down by 4 scores, and you could just feel it in the stands, like
everybody.
Yeah, it was down, and then how long, and we're right back in it, right going into halftime.
Gentry makes a play.
Yeah,
kick return,
big play, and it's just that's the mentality of the team. It comes from the head coach for sure. So great observation. I want to talk about something a little bit personal to the show.
Sure, go ahead.
City Park Group has been our sponsor this year.
Yeah.
And they came in at a time where we were kind of seeking our first sponsorship. We were needing to upgrade a lot of equipment, and they really pulled a lot of, like, all of our equipment. We needed something other than these.
For reference, we were putting our phones on gimbals in the postseason last year to get some footage, and they came in a big way for sure.
Yeah, huge. So I wonder if you could talk a little bit about what is City Park doing, what is happening with this group, and why would they be interested in helping support this crazy show?
Well, they're very community oriented.
Yeah.
So the man that owns it, Zeppa, he's from Canada. He's Canadian, and he loves Texas. He's got an office in McKinney now. Loves Texas. I think he's going to go ahead and become Texan as soon as possible.
Wasn't born here, but got here as quickly as he could.
That's right.
There you go. We'll take it.
So, and talking about them, I mean, every time I've asked them for any kind of support of anything, which has only been twice, he immediately is there for it. They're going to be building 2 different developments here in Anna.
Okay.
For right now.
Yeah.
That are really going to be unique. It's something that we don't have. It's a housing product that hasn't existed in Anna ever. Little cottage type homes, and it's very unique, and it's very nice, and it's good to have something for a change. But I can't divulge all of this, but they have plans to do stuff just for the city of Anna. Things they're going to give us, and it's going to be pretty incredible what they're going to do for this city going forward.
It's nice when a developer comes in. I mean, look, a developer's out. They're in business. They have to make money, right? But when you get a developer that realizes, look, if I invest in this community, it's going to pay dividends, and this group has done that. I still am so thankful. Like we sit here every day using equipment, getting a much better quality image than we've ever been able to get.
Getting a quality editor,
Mr. Josh Wright, back behind there.
He's giving us the fist pumps back there. We got to make it happen, Phil. Yep. Even if it's hanging like a GoPro, we got to get a camera
to at least pop on him every now and then. But if it weren't for them, I know that this year wouldn't be the quality it was, and so it's just appropriate to give them a little bit of time to say thank you, and who better to do that with us than you, who kind of helped make that introduction and get that done. Right. So
helped kind of do that introduction. So man, we appreciate that. I mean, hey, listen, this is all good and fun, but the heart of the show is about the boys.
It's about some stats, baby.
So are you ready to jump into some stats, or should we ask you some more hard hitting questions?
No, let's just get into some stats.
I've got a couple more questions.
It's not a me show; it's a them show. So.
It's a we show.
It's a we show. That's it.
We don't have a defense.
We don't have a defense. We don't have offense.
And with that said, let's talk about the offense.
All right, so I'm going to start off with Ziondre Williams. Let me move this up just a touch. Sorry.
No, you're good. I'll get it right where
Let's
you
go,
need
baby.
So
that's our quarterback.
My first time reading this, it looks like that's 4 stickers. Is that right?
That is four
four
stickers.
4 stickers. He went 10 for 12 for 161 yards and 4 touchdowns. So let me see. I'm going to do some math on the fly here. 40% of his completions were touchdowns. Is that about right?
That's some great math right there. Listen, once again, Pete Cain getting the mantra of the show.
That's right. He understands what we do, doesn't he?
Doing the math for you. There you go, Pete. 40% of his passes for touchdowns. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's how you shorten your night dramatically and sit on the sideline and watch the rest of the game. That's what he did. So he had 4 carries for 47 yards, almost 12 yards a carry, and a quarterback rating of 163.2.
By the way, that's above perfect.
I didn't even know it went that high. How can it go that high?
Right, because I think
it's not the highest he's had, actually.
No, it's not. He was in the 170s.
Yep.
Or was that Tristan was in the 170s? Either way, he's been up here before.
Yeah.
But the NFL perfect is like 158, I think, is what I put on one of the YouTube videos.
Yeah.
158 point change.
Yeah, 3 or 7 or something like that. But what was his completion percentage, man? Read this off for us.
So 10 of 12. 83.3%. I was going to do the math, but thank you. You wrote it. Did the math for me.
I did the math for you.
Yeah.
83% completion. That's insane.
That's dumb.
Yeah.
That's another level of just
That's
crazy.
Like, those are practice numbers. That's not real.
Our sticker threshold is 66, 67%, right?
Yeah.
And that comes from Coach himself, right? We went to Coach last year and we're like, hey, what is your completion percentage that you want us to make sure they meet to get a sticker? And he was like, dude, it's got to be 66, 67. So anybody who's like, that's really high, don't come at me.
That's right.
Go at the athletic director, head coach, Mr. Seth Parr himself, and don't actually go at him.
No, leave him alone.
Leave him alone. He's got some stuff going on. But Zai had a crazy, incredible game. He fell just short of Coach Rod's casual flex in our pregame interviews where he said, I dropped 6 touchdowns in the rain. I can't get as low as
I dropped 6 touchdowns in the rain.
Yeah, you know, people say you can't pass in the rain, and I got 6 of them.
And I just went out and I just had that coach. I had that coach.
That dog mentality.
I had that coach Parr mentality. That dog mentality was in me then when I was, and it still is. And so I just dropped 6 touchdowns because that's what I do. So
thank you, Coach Rod, for joining us on the show.
Channel Coach Rod, perfect.
I'm gonna catch flack for that. I know it.
You and me both, and I guarantee we just got memed already.
Yep.
We're I don't even know how many minutes into the show, but Zai, like it just
4 stickers
to have that level of completion percentage with some of the conditions. I know it wasn't heavy raining while he was in the game because I think he got benched before then.
Yeah.
His night was kind of done as the rain was starting to come, right?
Yeah. When you say you got benched, look, that has some negative connotation to it.
I said it intentionally, knowing the dichotomy of benching.
I ain't gonna let that happen, Zai. I ain't gonna let that happen, Zai.
It's the dichotomy of that, but I mean, just a phenomenal night for Zai.
It really was. It was fun to watch these guys, and I know like these guys didn't want to come out. They wanted to keep playing. They wanted to keep, competing. And, I know like Chumley, like we're not there yet to talk about him, but you could tell he's like, he was just so hungry to get in, he wanted to play, but I understand the reasoning. Makes perfect sense that, we got to save our best running back, right, for the playoffs. We got to make sure he's healthy. So
listen, we spent all last season trying to get Chum back healthy on our way to the state title.
Yep.
Like let's not start that process over again. Edward, like, dude, you're a beast. It's okay. Put on the Clark Kent. leave the Clark Kent office suit on. Go sit down and get ready to come in Superman on this Friday night.
Your boy Zai had it this week, and that's what you needed. In fact, your number 2 had it. We'll talk about him later, but let's talk about.
But Zai wasn't the only one who had it. Number 6, George Rogers comes in. He's going to get him some carries. One of those guys that we've talked about it all season long, transplanted from the offense to the defense, and he made sure to tell me a couple of times this season, listen, I played defense at some of my previous at my previous school too, so I know how to play defense. Like, okay, I see you, brother, but it's still what the change, like the transformation and moving to the other side of the ball is still pretty amazing that he had. But George Rogers is going to get 2 stickers on the night. He came in 2 carries for 57 yards and a tutty. And so he gets in the end zone, and I know you said the sideline was going absolutely bonkers.
Erupted. He gets in, and they went nuts.
Yeah.
And I love that culture. It's one of the things that I can't remember which coach it was on the coaches show had mentioned a couple weeks back. If you're on the sideline, you're watching your guys. We don't want you just watching. We certainly don't want you not paying attention. Mm-hmm. We want you engaged and cheering on your dudes and like making sure they know that there's as much support for those guys as there is for anybody else. So when George got in, the entire sideline erupted. It was fun, man. It was something else. And when he scored,
yeah, they were crazy. So it was 2 for 57 in the touchdown, gets him the first sticker, and then he averaged 28.5 yards per carry.
Average 28 yards a carry.
I don't know, brother. Our threshold is 10 yards per carry.
Because that's insane.
Our receiving threshold is 20 yards per reception, and my man George Rogers said, I'm just going to get over the receiving threshold by running the ball on the ground.
Y'all just sit back. That's cute. You just watch me. Watch what I do. That's George Rogers. He said, you just watch what I do.
But the question is, George, did you hit the ray gun celly?
He did not. I did not see a ray gun celly. Not
that
once.
definitely would have been a flag in
certainly
football.
have been a flag.
And honestly, rightfully so. I'm surprised that
I'm surprised he didn't get flagged. Yeah,
but still,
so none of you pull out the ray gun celly.
If someone was going to hit it, it would be Ace.
Yeah, maybe.
No, he's talked about he loves him the celly dances. He talked about it in one of our pregame interviews. Remember you asked us silly questions, and he wants to go viral for one of his TikTok dances.
That's true. And he knew which one.
Yeah, he did.
And he
did a little bit of it on camera. Yeah. It was interesting. George, it was interesting.
It was interesting.
George, by the way, Ace Trailers touchdown celebration that got a flag is still going on from like 4 games ago. George Rogers, you're going to get 2 stickers on the night, but now we're going to come over to the young man that stepped up in a big way.
Goodness. Freight Train. Pharrell
Train.
Brown.
I'm going to lean back and catch my breath while you talk.
The Freight Train, Pharrell Brown.
Tell me about him.
Let me just look. I know a couple weeks ago we got to give you a sticker, and that was a moment, right? That was fun. But today, Pharrell, 7 stickers.
Well, yeah. So it was like 3 weeks ago we gave him his first, or 4 weeks ago his first sticker. Yep. The next week he got a couple more, and then he got a couple more than that, and now, like you said,
every week you've been building on your performance. You had 21 carries for 278 yards.
Pause. Typo?
No, legit. Legit. 278 yards, 3 touchdowns, 13.2 yards per carry on average, and a long run of 66. Pharrell dominated. He absolutely owned that defense. There wasn't a single person. He'd get hit once, and I don't know what they were thinking. If they thought, oh yeah, that's all we got to do. No. He's been to the University of Edward Chumley.
That's a good university to go to.
It's a good university to go to. He's
founded by Breezy Dubar.
Founded by Breezy Dubar. Yep. The famed alumni. He 1 tackle is not going to be enough. You're going to have multiple people. This kid ran with absolute violence. He ran into tackles. He was not afraid of them. He is a big kid. Like he's bigger than Chumley in terms of weight, and just absolutely violent in his running style. He's a lot of fun to watch. Number 22, Pharrell Brown, ripped off 200. I'm going to say it again, 278 yards.
So, Pete, as a casual purveyor watcher of our show, do you remember the threshold for the Purple People Movers? How many rushing yards we have to get?
Is it 150?
250.
Oh, that for the line.
The line. Yeah. So think about that. Pharrell Brown earned the Purple People Mover sticker.
Good grief.
By himself.
So O-line, Pharrell Brown got you another sticker.
Catch up.
Not only does Pharrell get 7 stickers, but he is making sure the O-line gets stickers as well. And that's a good running back.
We'll still talk about that sticker here in a little bit because we had more than just that on the ground.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that's crazy to me that he did that. I guess I kind of want to know. So you're up in the booth every single week, right? Announcing when we're in a way, you're down in the stands, but as you watch from the booth, what's it like watching our running backs run? I mean, like there's got to because you can just see the whole field and the physicality you must see them hit with. What's that like watching from the bird's eye view?
So the kind of cool thing about it, especially I started noticing this with Chumley late in the year last year and going into early this year. So when he gets the ball handed to him, everybody in the booth just kind of leans forward.
Okay.
Because they're ready. They're leaning forward because you don't know if he's going to go down at all. You just never know. And all of them run the same way. When I was talking about Pharrell on Friday night on the broadcast, I was like, it's like he's a contact-seeking missile.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not trying to avoid you. You should be trying to avoid him because once after the 3rd step, he's full speed, and it hurts when he puts that into you. So it's very exciting up there. And the more we see it, the more we like it. So
yeah. Well, the next guy you're going to talk about must be a person that you guys love watching from up in the booth.
Absolutely. Ronald Bell Jr., 3 catches for 30 yards. Even I know that's 10 yards a catch. You didn't even have to write it.
I didn't even have to write that down. I didn't have to do that.
Let's go.
Didn't have to do that.
Let's go.
Right. So that's one. And then the second sticker he's getting is for the 2 touchdowns that he got. Ronald Bell Jr. That's what he does. He scores touchdowns. That's his thing. And
completely covered.
Yes. Completely covered.
Again.
The kid just makes the catch.
Everything is advertised.
Yes.
And more with that young man. He makes some of the most ridiculous catches that I don't think he's going to make. Or then he'll take like a screen pass, and I'm like, oh, he's gonna take this little bubble screen for 5 yards, and like he did the other week against Memorial, houses it in his game back.
Committed to Langston, right? Is that
reopen his recruitment?
Oh, he did. Okay,
Yes,
I didn't see it.
He committed to Langston, and then he came back and said, "My recruitment's still open."
Okay, then.
So I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. If some
well,
schools
whoever
are coming
I was
in,
gonna say, whoever gets it is gonna get a dog. Like
absolutely
that's,
gonna get a gem.
He's a competitor. He cannot handle being. He just doesn't want. He has to be out. He wants to be playing, and he wants to be making plays.
Yeah.
And when he's out there, he does.
He does. He makes plays.
He sure does. Well, we're going to keep talking about our receiver core with another young man.
Good.
We mentioned him earlier, Ace Trailer.
Come on.
Ace, by the way, I got to meet some of your grandparents. I think it was at our last home game. Man, they were just delightful to talk to. I really enjoyed that. And it kind of shows me where this young man comes from and the cloth that he's cut from. And it shows me, like, because we talk about all season long, high quality young man that hits wonderful sellies in the end zone and blocks people back to their school.
He's still blocking today.
He delivered them all the way back to the school.
Okay.
So yeah, he is that kind of a young man that you don't have to call a cab ride or an Uber or a Lyft home. He'll just block you back to your school for you. Ace Trailer does the dirty work. 3 catches for 62 yards on the night, which is, kind of a ho-hum night. He's like, he didn't get the 2 touchdowns. He gets in a lot of games. It seems like every other game, Ace Trailer's getting 2 tutties.
Right.
And that's when he gets to hit the sellies that are 3 years long. But you're getting your sticker on the night because you averaged 20.7 yards per carry. Dude, Ace, you're just a stud, and I've said it to you in private, just you and I as we talk off camera. But man, I'm so happy that you are wearing Coyote purple this year because you have been such a joy to watch. And I remember watching you last year play against us in the playoffs, and you were such a pain to watch play against us. All right, and that's one of the highest compliments I can give is you were a pain to watch play against us last year. To watch you play for us this year in Coyote purple has been a wonderful, beautiful sight to behold.
Very nice.
Well, the places he makes catches, right? They're all in critical moments. They're all in. It's usually when we're in the middle of the field. I know he's catching touchdowns too. Don't get me wrong. He does plenty of that, right? But it seems like when they need him, they can count on him. Mm-hmm. That's the kind of player he is. He will make a clutch grab that we desperately need to keep a drive moving.
Right.
And that's
for sure.
I think that's just in him. He's just locked on that. Like I'm gonna make as many and almost every play I can as I'm going through this, just because I know that's what my team needs. So I'm gonna step up and do it.
Without a doubt. Our next guy though, he makes clutch catches too.
He is. Both these guys, I feel like they have
receiver cores.
Yeah,
just silly.
The receiver core, we're so deep. Number 9, Rowan Nylander. Rowan, you got a sticker for the day because you had 3 catches for 58 yards, just under the 20-yard per catch threshold there. But you got a TD, baby. You got that touchdown, and it was nice too. It was this whole game. Anytime one of these guys was hitting pay dirt, it had to have felt good because the weather and just the way things were. It was not a kind game in that regard, but they were making the most of it. Rowan was definitely one of them. Had his opportunities, took them. 3 big catches, a good chunk of yards for that. Again, another guy moving it forward, just like Ace. Rowan, you came in, you played a great role, and you had a great game.
He couldn't find 2 more yards, so we can give him another sticker.
I mean, look, that's not on us.
Yeah, his touchdown, he lines up in the slot, and we run one of our favorite route combinations that we love to run all the time. And he starts in the slot, runs that out route, and catches the touchdown in the corner of the end zone, and just sure hands. Yeah, just sure hands from Rowan Nylander.
All right, well, next up we have Michael Kennedy. He's getting another sticker this week. 1 catch for 11 yards, and that happened to be a touchdown.
Yeah.
So touchdown to catch ratio is pretty good there.
It's great. I mean, what is that? So the catch, 1 touchdown. Is that a 50% touchdown to catch rate, or is that a
might be 100?
100% touchdown.
I'll
to catch
check
rate.
it later.
You guys are so smart,
Mr. Michael Kennedy. Just absolutely doing work. He's a guy that's come on the last half of the season for us, and he's another dude. He is lightning quick.
Yeah,
lightning quick, man. I think you can overlook him if you're the other team because you see some of the other dogs on our receiver core,
right?
And then he gets the ball in his hands, and the dude is quick as can be. I don't want to race him in a foot race ever.
No.
Even if I get a head start, Mr. Kennedy is phenomenal, right? So another great game from him, just kind of doing what he needed to do and then getting out of Dodge, getting benched.
Yeah,
for great reasons.
Getting benched. Yeah, and you know what's kind of shocking too with all these numbers is most of the stuff happened in 2 quarters.
Right. Not even 2 quarters.
Yeah. So
I know like Zai was sitting well before the end of the half.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
All right. Well, listen, we teased the sticker earlier. It lands on me. If you haven't caught it, we just rotate around our sticker script. Purple People Movers.
You got it, baby.
We give it to our O-line when we as a team rush for more than 250 yards on the ground. We said it earlier. Pharrell rushed for 278 himself. But listen to this. We as a team had 420 rushing yards.
Wow.
420 rushing yards on 29 attempts. That, ladies and gentlemen, because we do the math for you, is 14.5 yards per carry. We averaged a first down every time we ran the ball. Not just that we averaged a first down, we averaged almost a first down and a half.
Yes.
Essentially, right? Like every time we ran the ball. That is stupid dumb to think about.
Yeah.
That's 420 rushing yards. That's insane. That's a lot when you're passing.
Look, I watched a lot of football over the weekend. Yeah. Not feeling great over the weekend. So I did on Saturday. I tried to do nothing but watch football. And as I'm watching, there's always the recap at the ends of the games, right? How many yards rushing? How many yards this? How many yards? I mean, there were teams that didn't put 420 yards of offense on the board. Right. Most of the games didn't have teams that were putting up 420 yards of offense, let alone rushing.
Right.
I mean, we've talked about it. There's a good portion of teams in Texas that don't average 420 yards per game of offense, of high school football teams.
Yeah.
So to do that on the ground is pretty special. Hey, we kind of teased it last week, so this is off script a little bit. So I'm gonna read out some numbers. I want you guys to give me reactions. This is where some of our guys fell on state leaderboards to end the season. So this is all top performers in Texas. Number 8, Ziondre Williams, our quarterback. That's his jersey number. He came in at number 22 in all of Texas for all-purpose yards with 3,219. That put him in 5A D2. That put him at number 2 overall in passing. But to be number 22 in the state with 3,200 yards, reflect on that season a little bit. That regular season, because it's not over.
3,200 yards.
That's
passing
the
and
entire
rushing. State?
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
That's crazy company. That's insane.
So I'll click on full leaderboard. He's looking on my iPad as I'm bringing it up.
Sorry.
Yeah. The top person had just under 4,000. And so Zai at 3,200 is just like he was a hop, skip, and a jump away from, being up at the top if he had to play full games.
Yeah.
He gets there. What a season for Mr. Ziondre.
Put him in your average Texas high school football conference. Because we're not in
this
normal.
is not an average district.
This is not the district that we play in is not normal. It is a gauntlet. The District of Doom is an appropriately titled name there, and I think if you put him in any other district, he's in the top 3.
Yeah. Zai was top 4 in 5A D2. He's number 4 in 5A D2 for total yards.
Yeah.
Edward Chumley, number 10 in total points in 5A D2.
That does not surprise me.
Right, that's not a shocking number.
Which also number 10 in total touchdowns with 23 on the season. He had 20 through the state championship game last year. So he ends with 3 more touchdowns in 6 less games played so far.
That's not too bad. Those are wild numbers.
Pretty stinking
that
good.
Kid's going to end up having an incredible once it's all said and done.
Yeah.
And he won offensive MVP last year.
Yeah.
And he's eclipsing, the rate at which he scored last year already.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Let me rapid fire through these. This is our district, okay? This is our district. Zai finished number 2 in passing. Edward finished number 2 in rushing. And I think if I click on it, I got to click on this one. Edward was number 2 in rushing, number 2 in total points, number 2 in touchdowns. Just a phenomenal season. Zai fell to number 4 in rushing. For a while there, we had the number 2 and 3 rusher in our district. Lovejoy's running back jumped up to number 3. Just a phenomenal season from our guys on the offensive side of the ball. Can't speak highly enough of them. And a lot of it is to tie it into the Purple People Movers is done because of what that O-line does. I think we have the best O-line in our district. That's just me personally. Yeah. I think we have one of the best O-lines in the state. And we've got a couple of seniors that need to get some serious looks from some college programs.
Right. Yeah, they are exceptional.
Some big boys on that line.
Yeah.
Big boys on that line.
Big boys can eat, and so far nobody's had to buy them pizza pies for not getting stickers.
That's good.
I might buy them some pizza pies just for the season they're having, but they've been incredible. But hey, that's our offense.
Yeah, we need to move into some defense.
Let's do it. Well, hey Phil, you want to lead off with this young man?
Yeah, man, this is great.
We love him.
So like I said, every week we keep talking about this kid getting better and better and better. And number 15, Ryan Sasumi, gets a sticker today. He's tied on the team for third in tackles. He got 3 tackles on the day, which is it's interesting. We look at these stats sometimes, and you wonder, it's like tied for third with 3. Like, that's not a lot of tackles. This is no shade. It's just a reality. It's just a fact. They just didn't have the ball that much.
Exactly.
They couldn't move the ball. It was 3 and out. It was 3 and out and
Yeah.
3 and out.
They couldn't move the ball, and what happened in the second half with the clock?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just running
the
off.
second half
Yeah.
clock running was just a killer.
It was a running clock second half, so these stats are going to feel lower than they normally do for a reason.
Yeah.
But he's on there. He gets a sticker.
Come on, a sticker's a sticker, Sumi.
And he keeps he just keeps getting his name up there. And that's a credit to this
Yeah.
young man, because he's learning another side of the ball. Again, another one of those kids who used to be a quarterback and now is flipping the field in his head and having to learn defense.
Yeah,
and he's doing it pretty well.
And learning that aggression that it takes to be the defensive aggressiveness versus the offensive aggressiveness are two different things.
Two different
It's one
beasts.
thing to sit out or to seek out and be the punisher versus the other guy to say, no, you're not going to punish me, and so I'm going to lean into contact, right?
Yep.
Like it's a little bit different mindset,
When-
and Tsunami is learning that mindset.
And when the whistle blows, it's all good. That's
Yeah.
what you're supposed to do. When that whistle blows, it's like a switch in your head, and you got to come unglued. You got to go do what you've got to do in the way that you've been trained to do it. And when the whistle blows again, you can turn it off. Like that's what a linebacker has to learn how to do. They have to learn how to become violent, right, between
Right.
those lines, and they have to make the other team feel it. They got to punish them. And I think Ryan is finding that level. He's finding that gear, whatever it is. He's starting to get closer and closer to it. So I'm excited for Ryan. I'm excited to
Yeah.
watch and see what happens with him. As much success as he's had as this season has continued to go on, I can only imagine what that might mean for next year, and I get even more excited. This year's not over, but I get pretty excited about it.
So real quick, Pete Cain, this is where Phil loves to hear this. Do you remember what year Sasumi is?
What year?
Yeah, like what grade is he in? Do you remember?
No, he's a sophomore.
Sophomore.
Yeah.
Sophomore.
This is where Pete.
Oh, he is a sophomore.
He's a sophomore. This is where Phil loves to hear this news. He's like, hey, by the way, he's a sophomore. Oh, I get it for 2 more years.
Right. That's right.
Hey,
That's right.
he's not the only quiet one. Pete, you got this next guy. We call him the Red Lightning.
Red Lightning, Josiah JoJo Smith. We got a sticker this week. Second on the team with 5 total tackles. One thing about Josiah that I know for certain is I have said his name so many times.
Yeah.
Over and over and over. He's always around the ball. Every time the play happens, if he's not making the tackle, he is around the ball.
Yeah.
He's one of those. And there's a lot of purple around the ball again.
Yes.
He's one of those guys that once again he's very quiet and mild mannered off the field, really respectful whenever he talks to I think any of us, and we've all gotten to have conversations with him this season. And the young man just balls out. In fact, I'm gonna leak a conversation I had with an individual.
All right.
I was talking to Zai on the sideline of the Memorial game, and he watches JoJo make a play, and he looks at me and he goes, "Dude, JoJo's gonna be so good his senior year next year." He's like, "Oh my gosh, that guy's gonna be so good." Like just when you get your own team that is full of excellent players excited about you, that tells me you're doing something special, and JoJo's doing something special. But our next guy he's doing a couple of things special. He's squatting small buildings, deadlifting cars off of babies, and
Wow.
he's
Wow.
doing the things that are necessary. Have you seen that dude is called Quadzilla for a reason?
Yeah,
If
sure.
you don't know who we're talking about number 25, Cash Money Williams.
Let's go.
You're going to get 3 stickers on the night. Listen, you were tied for third on the team with 3 tackles. You had 1 tackle for a loss. You had 1 sack. And I'm going to be honest, I think this young man is the reason why Liberty was like, yeah, we're cool with running the clock.
Yeah.
We don't want him to hit us anymore.
We're tired of him being in the back.
We don't want to see him around, because it was even when he wasn't making the tackle, he was in the backfield being a disruptor, causing havoc and breaking down plays without ever touching the ball carrier.
Yeah.
And it's been really cool to see. Cash was a linebacker for us. He was part of that linebacker U corps that was kind of studying at the school of Abram and BJ,
The school,
and
the
Grayson and
death squad.
CJ.
Yeah.
And we called him the 4 Horsemen, right? For a very good reason. And he got to study at that. And then he switched positions this year, putting his hands in the dirt, the proverbial dirt, because we're playing on turf.
Right.
But Cash has really made that transition. And dude is a punisher. I'm waiting for the antlers to regrow on your helmet, brother, because
Right. I mean-
those spots have been rubbed clean off, and you're going to come back at just an even more alpha buck once those antlers regrow. And so I'm excited because he's a junior.
I know. And here's what I'm going to read. I'm going to read some names that are on our list some that we haven't gotten to yet.
Okay.
But all that I think are returning based on what I see. So Ryan Sasumi,
Okay.
JoJo,
Yep.
right? Cash,
Yeah.
Austin Crowley,
Yeah.
Bryson Bardroff,
Yeah.
which we're going to talk about here in a minute. And is Brennan a senior?
I'm confirming right now. So kind of keep talking. I'm looking at the roster right now.
There's Brennan Williams is the other one. Caden I know for sure is, but there's 6 guys that we're going to talk about today. I think
He is in fact a junior.
he is a junior.
Brennan is a junior.
6 guys that are all going to be back next year for the defense. 6 guys, and here's what I presume, and this is just a presumption, and I think every one of you that are fans ought to be thinking like this. These guys are only gonna get bigger, they're only gonna get faster, and they're only gonna get more intelligent.
Right.
When it comes to the game, these 6 guys come back 10 pounds heavier, 15 pounds heavier, which is easy to do. Well, let me rephrase that.
It's easy for me to do.
I can do it tomorrow if you need.
I'm in the. I need to go the other direction. But
we can donate to you guys.
yeah,
is what we're saying.
happily. 10 to 15 pounds heavier, right? And their IQ is infinitely better because of this season. You know, when they go to installs and getting ready for the next year, they're going to be heads and shoulders above where they were.
Right.
And I think the future of our defense is very promising.
Less thinking, more doing. By the way, you said 6. The first 7 names on our sheet that we're calling out this morning, all of them
underclassmen.
juniors or below.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I say this morning because we're filming it in the morning. By the way, context for anybody that's watching. So I said Cash. Man, you got the next guy. He's been back, 4 or 5 games now.
Healthy.
Making his mark.
Healthy. I know he was itching to get in there. Number 30, Brennan Williams. You get 2 stickers, my man. You were tied for third on the team with 3 tackles. You're tied there with Ryan. You had a tackle for loss. I mean, look, I feel like there were more TFLs than what we had reported. And yet
Yep.
it is what we have reported, so we're
Yep.
we're rolling with it. Brendan, you got one. It's so much fun watching these kids get healthy, watching them kind of find their opportunity and get in the game and do what they love to do. And Brendan had a great game.
He did, and you mentioned it, right? But Pete not just getting healthy, but getting healthy at the right time.
Absolutely.
This is a rarity. Like we talked about it at the front, being 19 years around this program. Hardly ever do you see a team getting healthier at the end of the season than they are at the beginning or the middle of the season. Typically,
Yeah.
you get more banged up and you lose guys.
Yeah.
So in your mind, as we head to the playoffs, what does that mean for us as we get guys back?
I mean, we're a good team with the guys out. Okay, so we get them back. That changes everything.
Yeah, come on.
It's exponentially more difficult for the other team. And I want to say, for going back to Susumi, you're talking about him making that transition. He reads defenses like he's still playing or offenses like he's still playing quarterback. He is really instinctual. He does a great job of seeing what they're about to do, and he reacts very well to it.
Yeah.
Smart kid.
Yes.
On top of everything, and I think that's one of the reasons why he's going to be so successful in defense.
That's an understatement. Smart kid. Ryan's assumed he's kind of a brilliant kid.
Yeah.
Just love him. Another kid. You're going to talk about him. This is another pretty darn smart little kiddo right here. Not little anymore either. Not little.
Number 31, Austin Crowley. 2 stickers this week, man. What a game. Led the team in tackles with 6, and he had a sack. Austin Crowley is a problem.
Yeah,
I have seen it all. If you are the opposing offense, he is a problem.
You better make some kind of plan to deal with 31.
Do something about that kid because he's not blockable with the first guy. You better figure something out. But he had another fantastic game. It's just what he does. He shows up and he does it.
Yep.
Austin, I'm going to take your head clean off Crowley. Right? I mean, like his stated goal to us in an interview. I just want to knock somebody's helmet off.
And the next week.
Okay.
Helmets come popping
Not
off.
even the next week, like that night, I think it was. Right? Wasn't it that night?
I thought it was the next game.
Maybe it was. Either way.
That was the next game.
In my mind, the lore of that night is a little bit better, so that's what I'm going to roll with.
Yeah.
But I'm going to knock your head clean off, dude. I love it. Number 42, Bryson Bardruff. You had 2 tackles, so missed out just by 1 tackle on getting tied for third on the on the team with 3 tackles. But you're still going to stick around the night for a tackle for a loss, getting in the backfield, causing disruption. We talk about it all the time. Putting offenses in negative game scripts is beneficial for our defense because guess what? It lets our secondary kind of hunt and try to eat a little bit.
Yes.
And anytime you get a guy like Zay Gentry or JoJo or George or Eric with the ball skills that they have, all 4 of those guys could very well play on the offense. I mean, George got a touchdown on the offensive side of the ball, so
he could definitely
Dub Blake, of course, George could play on the offense.
Well, there've been a couple, there also been a couple kick returns that JoJo has fielded that I thought, okay, that young man might, if we need a running back,
he could certainly do
I
that.
think he could probably do that too. So it's fun to watch.
He could, but so it's just. Putting the other offense in negative game script allows that secondary to start to fly around. And Bryson, you did that on Friday night, getting a sticker on the night.
It's great seeing him step up.
Yeah,
having some opportunity. He's a good football player. Mm-hmm. And the thing that I love is you're starting to see some competitive depth. You look at this list, and 7 of the first 8 guys that we're talking about on this list are younger guys coming back, and. I mean, 7. Yeah. It's a lot of dudes.
It is.
Right? It's a lot of mouths to feed, for lack of a better term. And it's great to see. It's great to see. So when you put in somebody from the second string, you spell somebody, you give them a little bit of a break. Yeah. You're not losing production, right? Because that would. I think our coaches would lose their mind if that happened, right? They would lose their mind. You got guys backing up guys right now who can come in.
Evidence of them.
We've got very real evidence of them losing their mind. But anyway, Bryson did a great job. I get to talk about the next dude, number 90, the Soul Snatcher.
I was hoping you were coming with that nickname.
The Soul Snatcher.
Oh, it didn't disappoint. Come on now.
It's Caden Banks, man. You get 2 stickers, Caden. You're tied for third on the team with 3 tackles, and you got a sack. And
yes,
again, it's just another quarterback sack. Little snack. Get a little bit of snack. Get that. That's what Caden is. He's just like getting in there and just eating it up, man. And it is so much fun to watch him play. When he's dialed in, mentally, when that dude is locked in, there's nobody that's stopping that kid.
Right.
Yeah, and I feel like he's been locked in, dialed in for 5-6 weeks now. And it just continues to show.
Yeah, he's really showed his athleticism over the past 5 games. He is a tremendous athlete. It's amazing some of the things that he's done on the field.
Yeah, I hate to lose him, because of the senior year or whatever. But no, that's right.
Strib is a senior.
Strib is the senior.
Strib is the season.
Strib's the senior.
The other Caden's the senior. This Caden is the junior. I hate to lose Strib too, but we got him for at least another Friday night.
6 games.
That's true. And Strib's such a good kid.
I wouldn't be mad if it was 6 more games.
Caden. So anyway, I'm sorry I cut you short. I cut your career short. That was unintentional.
I didn't.
But 2 stickers. 2 stickers on the night, and the Soul Snatcher was back at work.
Yeah, he was.
Next up, number 97, Jaden Shaw with a sticker for a sack. A pretty impressive sack, if I recall that one correctly. I think he was in there real fast.
Yeah, he's a kid that we talked about in our first in our list. He finally breaks up the run of non-seniors, right? Jaden's a senior this year. So it's cool to see him. I don't think that's a name we've called out this year.
That's a first shout out.
So we always love it when we get like first time names on there. Jaden, you're getting a sticker on
your
that helmet.
last regular season game. He gets in there with that sack.
Getting and earning that sack, dude. You love to like when guys just come in and like we said, there's no production drop off. The expectation is you come in as a 2, as a reserve player. The expectation is you'll do the same thing that the 1s are doing.
Absolutely.
Right? You're on the varsity squad for a reason because you can make plays, and Jaden's showing I'm not just on the varsity squad because I happen to be a senior. No, I'm on the varsity squad because I can make plays, getting a sack. Great job, brother. Demarion Ward. I don't have a number for him. In Max Preps. So Demarion, come find me.
That's right. You better tell us.
This is like the Carter Dietz saga all over again, man. It took us 3 weeks to get Carter's number. Carter, you still have not come and told me your number. I went to Coach Sevier, and Coach Sevier provided it to me, which is probably what I should have done after week 1 anyways. But I wanted Carter to come tell me, and that's okay. Carter, you've been balling out, so keep doing it. Demarion, come tell me your number. Demarion Ward's getting a sticker on the night for a forced fumble. We didn't recover it. I looked on Dallas Morning News. They had 5 fumbles on the night. Did I miss a sticker for the offensive? Demarion Ward, you're going to get a sticker for the forced fumble. Did I miss an offensive sticker? We didn't turn the ball over, did we?
We got gain the edge for sure. Did we do that one?
No, we didn't. We did not.
So that's another sticker.
No, we did not cause a turnover.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure we didn't. You guys got to fill air for me here while I look it up. But I'm pretty sure we did not turn the ball over. Zai didn't throw a pick.
No.
Did Pharrell fumble the ball? We didn't lose a fumble.
No.
Tristan didn't throw a pick.
Nope.
Okay, so offense, we owe you another sticker for protecting the rock.
Nice job, fellas.
Yeah.
Great job, Blake Grundy, on writing down the script and not getting one of our big stickers.
Listen.
Wonderful job. Hey, hand up accountability. Okay, we got it fixed. You're watching it live.
Live as it happens.
Protect the rock is given when we don't turn the ball over.
Yeah.
So, young man, in a weather game like that, to not turn the ball over is a big deal.
Yeah. Hanging on to the ball, period, is a big deal. Yeah.
And that was great because, I mean, I know there have been games where, we've had a lot less weather issues and we've coughed it up. And to have ball security in a game with that kind of weather is something else. So, Look, before we start making our way out of this video, I do want to mention special teams for a second.
Okay.
And the only reason being is just look, we had a lot of points scored, and our kicker and that tandem, that special teams group did a lot of work. And a lot of people they ask me after the game, they're family members, like, why didn't my kid get shouted out? He contributed so much. Yes, he did contribute a lot. It just happens that when it comes to special teams, especially kicking, there's a very high standard. And, we talk about this, like, we can't diminish the standard just to make somebody feel good. The standard has to remain the standard. And that doesn't mean we don't value or appreciate what that unit did. That unit did a great thing. They scored a lot of points this week. But when you miss one, you miss one. And in the world of kicking, we see how important that is. I mean, we watched a game last night in the NFL that they won by, I mean, that ball, if it did not kiss the upright as it went through twice, one on the right side, one on the left side, if it's 6 inches different, if it's 3 inches different, it might not go in. And that's a big difference. If that kicker misses one of those field goals, that game is in a very different script. Yeah. And so when they miss, and we got to hold them to that standard as well. So we love the guys. We love that crew. We talked to Coach Rod about this a lot. We love the special teams crew, and there are ways that we also incentivize some of these kids as Coach Rod has a chance to look at, special plays on special teams that maybe you guys don't get to see on the show, but.
Right.
Hats off to these guys. I know that they work hard, and not getting a sticker is that's probably the least of their concerns. But it is worth saying that, they do a great job week in and week out.
Hey, listen, special plays, special players.
Speaking of special plays, we're gonna we enter into the world of special plays with the playoffs, right? Everything
playoffs.
You talking playoffs?
Oh, we talking playoffs? Yeah, because
we're in them, baby.
Finally talk playoffs. That's
yep.
Right.
And so we kind of know our future. We know who we're playing.
We know this Friday.
Yeah, Colleyville Heritage. We're at their home. So the way that 5A works is the highest seed gets a home game.
Yeah, they get the opportunity to host if they want it.
Now, did I know that 3 weeks ago? No, I did not.
I didn't either.
I did not know that.
I'm used to the world of basketball and 4A and below football where everything's negotiated kind of midpoint and or you flip for a home and home.
Yep.
But hey,
or as one game did this last week, I can't remember. I think it was a 3A. It was a 3A playoff game where they said they took the odd or even on the Texas Tech game and Colorado game. Yeah, that was their either home or away situation. So whoever got the odd or even, however the score ended up is how they chose who got the first home game of it.
It blows my mind that we're in 2024 and we don't just hop on a Zoom and somebody screen shares a Google website search that just you type in coin flip and it flips it for you and you don't.
But I love the fun of that, right?
It's hilarious,
and that's for fans to know. Like these coaches, I mean, look, they'll do anything in order to possibly get home field. I can imagine how that call went. Hey, we're seated the same. Who's going to take home field for this game? And one coach said, well, we'll flip for it. No, I don't want to leave it to a flip. Okay. Let's draw straws. No, I don't want to do that.
Pick an area code.
Let's pick an area code. Yeah, let's do an area code. Let's
zip code.
No, I got an idea. Let's put it on the Texas Tech game. Oh yeah, that sounds good. Let's do that.
All right, we'll talk again Saturday night.
I will see you after the game on Saturday night. We'll let you know.
That is crazy. But so we're gonna be playing at Mustang Panther Stadium. Kickoff is 7 p.m.
Yep.
Please note 7 p.m., which means we need to have the stadium full by what time, Pete?
About 5.
5 p.m. I love it.
About 5.
That's when I show up.
Horns blowing while the other team is warming up.
Yeah.
Okay. Just make them hate it so that when kickoff comes and they hear one horn, they just lose. I like that. It's a little mental warfare, little trench action going on. I like it. No, game is at 7:00. Plan to give yourself some time. 121 traffic as you go out there can be bad. Or if you're not going to take 121, you're going to for some reason take just the forsaken 380 route, or you're going to go down to 635 and work your way back up. I don't know, but
don't do that.
Either way, leave yourself some time. Get some dinner on the way. It's at Mustang Panther Stadium. You can find out how to purchase tickets by going to our Anna Coyote football Facebook page.
As we're recording this, it's not out, but it will be out by the time this is out. So they did say it was going to come out today. So ticket information will be out later today from when we record, which should be out since you're watching this. I thought we were going to cut to a traffic segment with you. All right, guys, we're gonna cut live now to Chopper 5, where Blake Grundy has got all the information on your traffic update. Let's go to Blake.
I mean, I could tell you what traffic is going to be on those routes at that time because the amount of times I drive it during basketball season is crazy. Hey, listen, I typed this in here, so I'm just going to say it. This is not the official word coming from Ann Parr. She's going to say what they tell her as far as noisemakers. I, Blake Grundy, do not care. Bring all of the noisemakers that you've acquired this season. Bring your horns, bring your wooden blocks, bring your cowbells, bring whatever and whoever and all evers, and bring them. I just made up a word. It's okay. This happens here on the Stat Show.
Whosoever has them, bring them.
Every noisemaker.
Bring
and if you don't have a noisemaker, stand up on the metal stadium or on the metal stands and stomp your feet every time they are on offense. And then when we're on offense, shh.
That's right.
Eat your hot dog or your nachos.
What's this? What's it? Shh.
$1 million.
a little Dr. Evil for the morning before we sign off.
When we're on offense,
it's so appropriate that you're bald on top of it all.
Thank you for noticing I'm bald.
Oh, that's getting memed.
It is getting memed, and that's okay. When we're on offense, shh.
Yeah.
Offense at work.
Right.
When we're on defense or special teams, well, get crazy.
Yep.
Get crazy. Get loud. I don't care what their stadium website rules say. Bring them. Bring them.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of being an independent third party.
Bring them.
Right.
News channel.
I might get in trouble buying all this, but who cares? Whatever.
Oh, yeah, he's not independent necessarily. Well, you're not calling the game.
He's not calling the game.
That's true. That is true.
You're good. You're good.
He's not calling the game. We're okay.
All right, I'm calling this, though. It's time. We've got to stop. We're at an hour and something, I think, already. So, look, we've had a lot of fun, Pete.
Broadcast schedule.
Yeah. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us for the entire broadcast.
Thank you, Mayor Cain.
Yeah, you are an absolute trooper. We love and appreciate all that you do. Among all the things you do, I know that Dad, Grandpa, those and husband are probably some of the most important titles you carry. Yeah. It shows if you're around you at all. I think people know that about you. Mayor, elder, volunteer and everything.
Happy Veterans Day.
Happy Veterans Day on top of that.
Thank you for your service.
That is something that's very dear to you as well. You can't know Pete Cain for more than 2 minutes and not know that that's an important part of his life. So we really do appreciate you, brother. Got a lot of love for you. And super thankful that you were here. So I think you should count us out. We do a Go Coyotes at the end of the show.
Sure. All right. Y'all ready?
We're ready.
1, 2, 3.
Go Coyotes!